Have you ever met a married couple that was crazy in love? Their affection and commitment sealed until death separates them, and all their friends know it? Hi, I'm Doris McMillan. That kind of love is all-consuming. Today on Excellent Living, our host Cheryl Martin uses that example of withholding nothing in a love relationship when she guarantees that one principle can lead us from vision to victory. Here's Cheryl speaking at a women's conference in Maryland.
2 nights ago, I had just wrapped up a great conversation with a man who oversees a group that I'm a part of. When I hung up the phone and I walked away, the Lord whispered very quietly in my spirit. And this is what he said. He said, Cheryl, you don't really love this group. You like it for what it can do for you. The perks, the privileges, but you don't love it. There's no passion. You've been in it for years, but it's not because of authentic love. This revelation stopped me in my tracks. This was not on my mind when I hung up the phone. It appeared to come out of nowhere. Where did that come from? But when God finished talking, I had to admit that God was right. I had been functioning all these years in the group without being in love with the group. I was a user. I love the conveniences of the group, but it didn't really have my heart. So then the Lord said, Cheryl, this is how a lot of Christians are. We say that we love God, but we are not in love with Him. We're going through the motions of church attendance, praise and worship, church activities, quiet time, but real love, crazy love is missing. You know, there are a lot of married couples out there. But have you ever described a man or woman this way? Girl, she is crazy about that man. She could eat him up. A few people came to my mind that fit into this exclusive category. One person who came to my mind is my cousin Rhonda. She's been married to her husband for over 30 years. And when I was in their home, we were all sitting in the kitchen at the bar stools. I'm sitting next to her husband. I thought I was saying something profound. She couldn't take her eyes off of her husband. It's like she wasn't even listening to me. I said, Rhonda, were you paying attention to what I said? She said, not really. I was just upset that you were even sitting next to my husband. Next to my husband. I was about to get an attitude, she said facetiously. She loves herself. They've been married for 30 years. And you know what she said at their 30th anniversary? She said, Cheryl, I'm consumed. She says, I still haven't given him all the love I can. She loves herself some James. Another person who came to my mind is my girlfriend, Pat. Is something I know deep down in my gut. Pat loves her husband. There isn't anything she wouldn't do for him. She is as tired as she is, and she talked about how tired she is. She's beside him in all of his pursuits, all of his pains, doing so without complaint. She loves just being in his presence. I call that crazy love. I call that compelling love. It's attractive. I haven't seen it a lot. And then a third person who came to my mind when I began to think about this was one of my spiritual fathers, Pastor Harvey Lewis. I had the privilege of living with him and his wife when I first moved to Washington. I've observed their relationship up close. They have now been married for more than 60 years. And on her 80th birthday, he handed her the keys to a brand new Lexus. I said, oh my Lord, she's still working it. That's the kind of woman I want to counsel me. And so a couple of weeks I stopped by their house and I said, Pastor, how are you doing? And you know what he said? Cheryl, I'm just trying to outlive the man who's waiting in line to marry mother. I'm just trying to outlive anybody who think they are going to get in here. I call that crazy love. I call that compelling love. I find it so attractive. In all of these relationships, unity, peace, love in their home, no contention, no drama. Now, on the flip side, I believe that one of the deepest hurts for us as women is when we love a man, really love him, and no matter how hard we try, he doesn't love us back. We may be married to him, having sex with him, but we know in our heart of hearts, he is not in love with us. Maybe he was in love in the beginning, but we no longer have his heart, and we know it. We long for him to love us passionately with this intense, crazy love that hits us at our very core. See, that kind of love will make us confident in our relationships. Why? We know his heart belongs to us. You see, I know firsthand about this longing and this loss, because I was going into the 3rd year of my marriage when I sensed something was wrong. You see, a woman knows when there has been a shift. So I cried out to the Lord and to the man. Now, the man didn't answer me when I asked numerous times, but how many of you know you need God in your marriage? So I took my complaint to the Lord. God, what's up? I stayed on my knees until God answered me and he uncovered the truth. Another woman had captured his heart, and it was gone, never to return. Now, as painful as that episode of my life was, more than 20 years ago, and it was painful, there's actually one great thing that came out of that experience. And it is this. I have a strong sense all the time of how God feels when we commit adultery on him. I'm very well aware of how God feels when we commit adultery on him. I know the pain of betrayal. And because I have been betrayed as a woman, I constantly say to God, I never want to commit adultery on you. I never want anyone or anything to occupy the top tier of my heart. I will not allow any idols in my life. I want you to always know that you are numero uno in my life. Because the pain for me was so deep God has never left me. See, one of the things that bothered me about adultery was this. And I said this to my husband. I said, I don't understand how in our entire marriage I have never made a decision that was not in your best interest. And just like that, you allow another woman to come between us. God says the same thing. I have never failed you. I have always been there with you. And as soon as a man comes who's not walking with me, you drop me like a hot potato. You put me on I've always been there. See, I understand betrayal. I couldn't understand that, but I've only done you good. And this is how you treat me. And that's what God says. I have given you breath. I have plans for you. Everything I tell you is for your good, and you're constantly going out here whoring, which is what he told the children of Israel. As soon as I bless you real good, as soon as I give you a great home, great car, you don't have time to worship me. You don't have time to come to Bible study. And I am the root of all of your blessings. I have never forsaken you. You have forgotten me. I couldn't get over that. He even said you were a good wife. He still says that today. We don't have any complaints against God. God is a jealous God. See, I understand jealousy. God got angry and continues to get angry at his people when we forsake him. Just like I got angry when I found out I was not number one, I got out of control, and I'm so glad nobody captured it and put it on YouTube. Thank you, Jesus. A side of Cheryl came out that has never been out. I thank God. No YouTube, nobody tweeted it. Nobody put it on Facebook. I got out of control. I know about the anger of God. If he get just half as angry as I got. Because see, you know what I said? I didn't mind you working long hours, but when I found out you were doing more than working, that's when I have a problem. When Jesus was asked what's the first commandment, he quoted from the Old Testament in Mark 12:30. He said, you must. This is a first commandment. It's not an option. You must love God with all of your heart, all of your soul, all of your mind, all of your strength. That's crazy love. That's consuming love. And then he said in verse 31, the second is equally important. Love your neighbor as yourself. No other commandments is greater than these. So women, if we're going to go from vision to victory, to live wisely means I wake up every day with an all-consuming love for God, and if I am consumed with his love, it's going to overflow to other people. If the only thing in my cup is love, anything comes out of it is going to be love. You know, I accepted Christ when I was a child. And I've always said to the Lord, Lord, I love you. But when the Lord was speaking to me Thursday night and Friday morning, he said to me, you know what, Cheryl? You have never said to me, Lord, I am in love with you. There's a difference. I love you, Lord. I love you, Lord. See, when I'm in love with you, I can love a lot of things. But just like I know without a doubt that Rhonda and Pat and Pastor Lewis are in love based on their actions, their self-sacrifice, that's what God is looking for in us. When you just want to please the person, it's not a chore. When you think about him constantly, when you are in love, you never want to hurt or offend the person. It's very easy to live with them because you're always thinking about their best interests. See, when you're in love with God, it's not a chore to come to the house of the Lord. Oh God, I guess I better go to church today. You're like the psalmist. I was glad when they said unto me, because I'm gonna praise and worship my lover. It's just a natural outflow of your love. God, you've been so good to me all week. I can't wait to join other people because I'm consumed with your love. When you love somebody, you can just be in their presence and not say a word. And you are content. I look at Pastor and Mother Lewis, they're together all the time. It's like bread and butter. They're always together. They do ministry together. They're in the car together. They're visiting my brother this weekend at his church in Ohio. They're together. They're one. They never get tired of each other. One day I was observing her. She was doing some toast, French toast in the pan and in the skillet. I said, Mother, what are you doing? She says, oh, I call this, and she batted her eyes, love toast. Love toast. She knows how to work it. My role model. This kind of love is not just talk. It's action. See, Jesus said about the Pharisees, they honor me with their lips, but their heart is far from me. Just like my husband was walking out of the house every morning saying, I love you, but his heart was no longer at home. You see, it's easy to get into the ritual, the checkoff list. I went to church today. Okay, got that done. You were checking emails in church. That is my pet peeve, when people come into the house of the Lord and they cannot turn their cell phones off. You are more concerned about getting an email, checking Facebook, than spending time before the face of God. Leave it in the car. You're putting that above God. What does all-consuming love look like? Apostle Paul in Philippians 2 described how his life changed when he was captured by Christ's love. He had been religious all of his life. He said, look, I used to be full of self-confidence based on my background, my affluence, my position, my spiritual disciplines. He was religious. My theological education, he graduated at the top of his class. But he said, I considered all those things important, but now I consider them worthless. Why? I am now consumed with Christ. I count all those things as garbage because I have the priceless treasure of knowing him. being consumed with his love. Nothing else really matters. He said in Philippians 2:8, I've discarded everything else, counted it as garbage for Christ. See, that's crazy love. That's consuming love. And Christ wants nothing less from us this morning. You see, when we love like this, we understand Christ's love language. It's obedience. We throw away our script for our lives and say, Lord, I am in love with you so much. I just want to please you and live the way you want me to live. This is not only a consuming love, it's a controlling love. Apostle Paul said in 2 Corinthians 5:13 through 14, if it seems we are crazy, it's to bring glory to God. Whatever we do, it is because Christ's love controls us. Not his flesh, not his feelings. If I'm consumed with the love of God, his love is going to control how I act. See, crazy love will intersect every aspect of our lives. This kind of love is going to determine our temperament, our attitudes, our time. We're not going to waste it on frivolous things. We're going to make sure we spend quality time with the Lord, that's a priority. This kind of love is going to control our tongues. Why? I only want to say things that are going to please God. That means no profanity, no backbiting, no gossip, no coarse joking. Why? Because I want what comes out of my mouth to please my lover. This kind of controlling love is going to affect our treasures, our possessions, our money, our children. We see all those things as God's stewards. I'm simply a steward of all those things. They're all on loan from God. I was so convicted by what the Lord put in my heart last night, Thursday night and Friday morning, that I wrote in my journal Friday morning. I was so moved by what he was saying to me. This is what I wrote. I have decided to give God all of my love, all of it. I am no longer saving it for a man. His lordship calls for a radical, all-consuming love. I declare this morning that I am in love with Jesus. I have decided that I will withhold nothing. I'm giving him 110% of me. So when I made this declaration for me, I'm telling you, ladies, something happened in my heart. I spent a time of praising and worshiping God and singing love songs to him, and I sensed his love flooding my heart like I've never experienced before. I went about my day. I've been saved a long time, but I went through my day yesterday very differently. I talked to people differently. It's as if I was talking in love, walking in love, and living in his love. As a matter of fact, I had a different response to certain things that happened that normally would have set me off. They didn't. I heard his voice in conversations telling me when it was time to zip it. And I did. See, the Christian life, what the Lord was showing me is, if you've already put a line in the sand and say, I'm going to love God with all my heart, all my soul, all my mind, and all my strength, his love will flow through us, and the Christian life won't be difficult. Because everything is being measured, and you know what, God, I just want to please you. If I have to humble myself in this situation, I'll do it. because I just want to please you. When you're in love with someone, that is the most important thing to you.
Thanks so much, Cheryl, for encouraging us not just to love God and His Son, Jesus Christ, but to fall in love with them, radiating an all-consuming love. At the end of this session at a women's conference, Cheryl invited the ladies to affirm their recommitment to doing so in a time of prayer. We encourage you to do the same if this presentation convinced you of the need to do so. It's like renewing your marriage vows. The act reinforces your commitment. Regularly reflecting on and affirming your devotion to Christ will solidify His number one place in your life. He demands nothing less. We hope you make that commitment today. You can listen to this presentation again and share it with others when you visit our website, excellentliving.org. That's excellentliving.org. While there, you can join our email mailing list. Ladies, you'll get an invitation to join Cheryl for her monthly teaching on Zoom or by phone on first Wednesday evening at 7 Eastern or 6 Central Time. This online gathering is designed for women who want to be wise and winsome. If you're on social media, we invite you to be a part of our Facebook and Instagram communities at Excellent Living. It's our delight to bring these programs to you each week. You can partner with Excellent Living with a donation of any amount. You can give online at excellentliving.org or mail your gift to Excellent Living, Post Office Box 15285, Chevy Chase, Maryland 20825. That's P.O. Box 15285, Chevy Chase, Maryland 20825. Thanks so much for tuning in today, and may our God continue to enrich you in every way.